Unfortunately, today we have a lot of negative things to talk about on Locked On Aggies, and we'll get it kicked off talking about Micah Hudson, who is officially no longer with the team.
You are Locked On Aggies, your daily podcast on the Texas A&M Aggies, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome on into Locked On Aggies. I'm your host, Andrew Stefaniak. Thanks for making Locked On Aggies your first listen every single day. Today's episode is brought to you by our wonderful friends over at Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. On the show today, ladies and gentlemen, we have, like I said, a lot of negative things to talk about. The baseball team swept. The basketball team heads home early from the NCAA tournament. But we'll get things kicked off talking about wide receiver Micah Hudson, who is no longer with the program. And, you know, for a while, I think we kind of knew that something was going on with Micah Hudson. So, you know, the official report, I just saw the Micah Hudson A&M highlights, and it was the Aaron Rodgers running out with the American flag. And of course, this happened the other day. This happened a few days ago. We just hadn't had a chance to talk about it with all the basketball stuff going on. But the reason I'm upset about this, once again, it's not a big surprise. I kind of figured this was going to happen. But at the same time, I think that it is frustrating because those of you that remember correctly, when Hudson committed to Texas A&M, a few months ago, I was really fired up about his upside. I mean, he was a guy that went to Texas Tech, a guy that I thought was going to have a special career at Texas A&M. When he went to Texas Tech, I kind of figured that would not go well and that he might be hopping back in the portal at some point soon. And, that's, of course, what happened. He goes to, doesn't do much his true freshman year. He then goes over to Texas A&M for about a week, and I thought it was going to be a really good fit. I thought that he was going to be a player that was going to. I thought that he was going to take that upside into that 5-star. Hey, he's a stud, and he's got it. We got a lot of receiver conversations to have. We've got more things. Coach Elko talked, and I think I'll tell you this: losing Hudson stinks. I think that Hudson was going to be a guy that was going to, like I said, find that 5-star bump this year and become a player. And of course, now he's back in the portal. Does he end up back at home with Texas Tech, or does he kind of get a feel for the market? I don't know what way it's going to go, but one thing that got me fired up is Coach Elko that they said Terry Bussey is a wideout now. Terry came in a little banged up, but we got him in the summer. He never quite got healthy through the summer training, started camp playing corner, and we flipped him midway to receiver. You saw scratches of what Terry is capable of. And I agree with that. I think that this is the reason, which I kind of foresaw that. I mean, a week or two, I said, is there a world where he maybe is a name still thrown around as a potential corner? I think that Terry Bussey's best upside is as a receiver in the NFL because I think he's just so shifty. But, I think he's a guy that can do everything. So, that makes me feel better about losing Hudson. Obviously, we feel good about what you've got in a player like Terry Bussey, and we feel good about KC Concepcion. And it sounds like KC Concepcion is doing a lot well. And Mario Craver is another guy that I think is going to have a good year. This trio of guys, KC Concepcion, Terry Bussey, and Mario Craver are all great. And then on top of that, you've got your Isaiah Williams, who I think is going to be really good. And you've got your I still like Ashton Bethel Roman. We're going to talk more about this wide receiver room tomorrow, but I like the look of this Texas A&M wide receiver room for next season. I think losing Hudson hurts. We're not going to sit here and act like, well, who cares? It doesn't matter. We don't need, we don't need him. Yeah, losing him hurts. But at the same time, I think that a guy like Isaiah Williams is a great example of why it might be okay losing somebody like Micah Hudson. So that's the reason I feel good about this room, and I still do. And yeah, I'd love to have had Hudson. I think that he's a player that I have a feeling, and I'm not trying to diss this young man because he didn't come to Texas A&M, so please nobody think that. But it's weird. It's a weird, like, I have concerns for the future of his, how he's going to be as a player in college because of this. It's like, it's weird. You're here, then there. It just feels like the type of player that it won't work out. I'm not rooting for that. That's the vibe. So I hope that the best for him wherever he goes. I think he's got all the talent in the world to be a star player, but he's got to find a home that fits him well. But I mean, Ashton Beth-Roman and Isaiah Williams as guys coming off the bench behind Terry Bussey, Mario Craver, and Casey Concepcion. Like, I think that this room is in a really good spot to still be okay without a guy like Micah Hudson, who, yes, I of course believe that there is the upside there. I think that he was going to be a good player and all that, but at the same time, I feel pretty good about the future of this room. And I just think those five names right there get me the most fired up. Of course, Concepcion, Bussey, and Craver, and then Williams and Beth-Roman. I think that those five names are players that can be great. So losing Micah Hudson hurts, but I don't think it hurts as bad as it would if you didn't have a guy. And I mean, it's going to be interesting. And this will be a fun conversation. Now that basketball's over, we're going to start talking more and more about football, especially with spring going on. But is there a world where Terry Bussey ends up being the wide receiver one over Casey Concepcion? I think if you asked a lot of people right now, they would say not no, but hell no. I think that I am all in. And I mean, I've been now it's hard to not be all in on the 5-star. It's not like I picked some random 2-star that's going to be great. But I think that Bussey's a first-round pick in the NFL draft. I'm sticking by that. I think that there's a world where he ends up being better than Concepcion this year. And the reason that I say that and I'm excited about it, I'm not saying that in the terms of, well, Concepcion could be a bust. No. I'm saying that in terms that I just think that Terry Bussey's that good. We know how good Casey Concepcion is. He's proved this for many years now, and he's done it at a school in NC State. I mean, it's not like he was doing it at some random small school. He's doing it at a legit program. So I think, and I still think Terry Bussey could potentially be better than him. And now, if you had to ask me to put a percentage on that, what's my percentage chance I think that happens? I'd say maybe 10%. I don't think it's the most realistic, likely outcome of all time. But I still think that there is a chance that it does happen. And, looking at the future of this room, you can't not be excited. It's pretty young. It's talented. And obviously, we still got a guy a freshman that's going to be coming in soon that we all know about that's going to be really good too. And I wasn't even adding him into the mix of the guys I'm talking about. But he's going to be special. There's a lot of talent in this wide receiver room. I think Miles is going to be a star too. And I think that's why while I'm talking about those five guys, is he going to get on the field as a freshman? Perhaps. So I'm excited, ladies and gentlemen, about this wide receiver room. Even losing Hudson, it sucks. I would have liked to have had him. I think he's going to be a good player. I think he's got a lot of talent in him. I think he's got a high upside. But at the end of the day, he's not going to be an Aggie. Best of luck to him at his next stop, next adventure, wherever he's going. But I think Texas A&M is going to be just fine with what they've currently got in their wide receiver room. The Aggies end up losing to the Michigan Wolverines in the NCAA tournament. It was really sad to see the season come to an end this way, especially in a game where you did have a lead at halftime and you just collapsed in the second half. We'll talk about this game and the future of this program coming up right here on Locked On Aggies. But first, I got to tell you about our friends over at 5 Hour Energy. Daylight savings snuck back up on us again, and if you're feeling the lost hour of sleep, 5 Hour Energy has your back. The extra sunshine means more time for fun, but sometimes you need a little boost to power through. Whether you're staying up late watching the NCAA tournament, squeezing in around the golf like after work, which is what I'll be doing here in a few hours. I'm actually going to go fish too. Or just trying to keep up with your busy day, 5 Hour Energy gives you a quick, refreshing pick-me-up whenever you need it. I've been staying up late watching the tournament week all weekend long. I mean, it's incredible how much basketball I just watched over the last few days, and 5 Hour Energy helped me do it. There's a lot of great flavors. If I'm traveling, 5 Hour Energy always helps give me that boost I need as well. Head to 5hourenergy.com to find over 15 flavors to choose from, including watermelon, blue raspberry, and peach mango. You can even build your own 12 or 24 pack delivered right to your door. Need one now? Grab a 5 Hour Energy shot at your local grocery or convenience store. They're everywhere. Stock up today and stay energized. So the basketball team, of course, loses this ball game to Michigan. It was a painful one. It was a game that, I mean, you were up 4 points at half. You were ahead 39-35 at the half. And then Michigan lays 56 points on you in the second half to outscore you by 16 points and win this ball game by 12. I mean, just a painful game. And, I mean, seeing that Pharrell Payne comes off the bench and scores all those points. I mean, in all honesty, what an incredible NCAA tournament for him. 25 and 26 points in the 2 games for Pharrell Payne. A guy that I'm hoping comes back, and he'll be here because I think he's a star. I think that he's going to have a really good season next year. He averaged 10 points on the year, and I think if he got more minutes, it'd have been even more. A game where Wade Taylor goes – y'all know my thoughts on his efficiency. 4 of 15, not the most efficient day. But at the end of the day, I mean, I'm still proud of him and what he's done during his time at Texas A&M. He's a really special person and a special player, and we all appreciate what he's done for this program, but not his best game. And then Golden down low was just a bit too much. 23 points, 12 rebounds. He had an assist, 3 blocks. Danny Wolf also had 3 blocks. So, they were blocking shots down low. A game where, the free throw shooting was not great. You go 18 for 26. So you miss 8 free throws, and something I've talked about all season long that continues to be an issue. You get 11 points from Garcia. You get only 2 points from Coleman on 1 of 6. I mean, Zurich Phelps goes 2 of 9. Not the most efficient day from him. So this was a game to me where it felt like you were doing everything right when it mattered the most in the first half, and then this Michigan offense just found a way to kind of get going, and they killed you in the second half. I mean, knowing that this is a incredible, knowing how good this Texas A&M defense has been all season long, it's a little bit frustrating that second half collapse cost you your season. And that, that stinks. I think that it's a year that I'm proud of this team and what they've done. And I think that this Michigan team was very beatable. And then if you would have beaten them, you'd be playing Auburn in the Sweet 16, a team that you just have their number. You were that close. I think if you play Auburn, I think you got a real shot to beat them. Just knowing that, Buzz and Bruce and their history and he wins a lot and all that. But it's been incredibly frustrating to watch this team struggle late on defense. I mean, there were some games where they were fine, but the defense was not as good over the last 10 games as it was over the first 20, 25 games. Like it just wasn't as good. And that's okay. It's part of the season. This was a good season. I'm proud of this team and what they did, but it wasn't quite enough here. And I mean, when you talk about going forward, when you talk about the future of the program for the Aggies, I think the number one thing for me, and I've talked about this a lot, I really do like the way that I just think that Buzz coaches an interesting style of basketball. I like it. I think that I would like to see a better offense, and I think that it's going to be interesting to see. I'd like to see a better system on offense. I think that this offense, and you all have heard me gripe about this, and I love Buzz. I think he's our coach. I'm not sitting here saying none of that. Our defense and rebounding and all of that is elite. I think if we could just get a better offense together. I think that two things can be true. You can have a great defense with gritty players and at the same time still find a way to have an offense where you're passing and moving the ball. I mean, this Texas A&M team, I mean, you did have 14 assists on 27 made baskets in this game, which is for Texas A&M of late a pretty good number. But, I mean, 11.9 assists per game. It's a lot of hero ball, and I don't like hero ball. It's not a good system. This is not, the NBA where, a guy's going to just take the ball down the court and dribble between his legs 10 times and throw a three up and hope it goes in. Like that just does not work. So I want to see more of an offensive system next year. I want to see a team that's better at the free throw line next year. I mean, at the end of the day, 69.5% from the free throw line is not going to get it done. So let's see here for craps and giggles. Let's see where that puts the Aggies in all of college hoops. I don't think it's the worst, but I don't think it's the best. So for example, a team like Wisconsin shoots 82%. Like that is ideal. So let's go to the 5th page here. So we're still not there. 6th page. Okay, we're getting there. Texas A&M shoots 69 point. Oh, I went past it. Okay, they're 275th in college basketball on free throw percentage. Like that's just not, especially a team that lives down low and banging at the rim and all that. You got to be better at the free throw line. That's something I want to see going forward. And I know it's annoying. It's annoying to gripe about free throws. I agree with you. I'm all in agreement on that. But at the end of the day, they matter in the month of March. I mean, if Texas A&M doesn't miss 8 free throws in this game, maybe it's a little bit tighter. Maybe this game's interesting. Maybe they have more of a chance late in the game. So, I really want to see the Aggies find a way to improve this. They've got to improve this aspect of basketball. They've got to be better at the free throw line. I want to see the offense improve. So proud of this team. Wade Taylor, thank you. Thank you so much for everything. We love and appreciate you. I mean, really, it's been special what he's done. And thanks to these guys, thanks to the guys that aren't going to be back. And really, but there's some changes that need to be made, I think, to make this Texas A&M team just a little bit better. That's it. And so hopefully Buzz is in the offseason looking for some portal players that fit his system well and make his team better. So that is something we'll be paying attention to. Yes, we'll talk a little hoops when we get deeper, when portal players start coming and all that. So we will be doing that, and it will be interesting to see how he finds a way to add to this roster. We're going to talk about the baseball team, and we might not be talking about baseball much longer because I don't think there'll be much of a season unless something changes now. We'll talk about why coming up right here on Locked On Aggies. But first, I got to tell you about our friends over at Game Time. Those of you everydayers here at Locked On Aggies know that I absolutely love the Game Time app. I think it is the best app to purchase tickets. I bought some tickets to go see basketball games this week in the NCAA Tournament and, of course, got them on Game Time. It is the best and should be the only place anybody is buying tickets to any sporting event, any comedian, any concert, anything you need a ticket to. The place you're going to want to get it is on Game Time. Great app, best prices. I love that you can see where you're sitting before you buy your seat. It's just the app is all around perfect, especially to buy tickets for March Madness. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. That's LOCKEDONCOLLEGE for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices, guaranteed. Also want to tell you about our bracket breakdown. It's those of you Aggie fans that are still interested in a little bit of basketball. We've got some fun stuff going on here on the Locked On Podcast Network, so take a look at this.
The NCAA Tournament is here, and so is the Bracket Breakdown.
Locked On Podcast Network and Amazon Fire TV channels are teaming up to deliver NCAA Tournament coverage like never before. Watch studio shows featuring former players and Locked On's local experts as they guide you through every upset, buzzer beater, and bracket matchup.
Stream it all for free on Amazon Fire TV channel. Search Bracket Breakdown to see it all for free.
It's your team every day.
So the baseball team, of course, makes the trip on the road to take on the Vandy Commodores in Nashville at Hawkins Field, and they get swept. First game, a loss 3-5. Second game, a 1-3 loss, and a 5-8 loss to finish the series. So let's now do the math on what this team is, how many runs they've scored in 6 SEC games. I feel like it's a big enough sample size to really do this math. So they've scored 15 runs in 6 baseball games, in SEC games. That means they're scoring 2.5 runs per game. You want to know what 2.5 runs per game is going to equal? No wins. You are not going to win baseball games only scoring 2.5 runs per ball game in the SEC. And I mean, a game where you get 7 innings from Lampkin, 3 runs, he's good. 3 runs, you should be in that ball game. And obviously, I guess technically we were in the ball game, but we never were because you can't score a run. You only score 1. You're tied 1-1 the whole game pretty much. Vandy puts up 2 in the bottom of the 7th, and it proves to be too much. So I don't know what the answer is for this baseball team. They can't hit. And until they start to hit it, no one's rooting against these kids. No one. But at the end of the day, you got to hit to win baseball games. The pitching has not been bad. what is – okay, we'll play the same game. So the pitching staff has only given up – and I'm not saying it's been perfect. So they've given up – and then in this, 12, 14. So, 5 runs per game, it's not perfect. It's not elite. It's not dominant. But you should have a shot in some of these games. It could be a lot worse. And, they've had a lot of – there's been a game where the opponent scores 2 and 3 runs, and you go 0-2 in those, combining to score 1 run. At the end of the day, you're just not going to win baseball games if you can't hit. And the pitching staff, it's not been perfect. I'm not throwing this all on the bats. But your pitching staff's at least giving you a shot, and the bats aren't getting it done. So, we'll keep talking about this team for a few weeks. You've got a Kentucky team coming into town that I believe is 2-4. They've lost 2 series. They lost at Georgia, and they lost at home this weekend against Auburn. So they're 0-2 in series. Steal a series from this team. Momentum's a real thing. Find a way to get some. If you can get some momentum this weekend, maybe you can take it and run with it. But until I see it, I'm not buying it from this team. And it's really unfortunate knowing that once again, this was the preseason #1 team. That's going to do it for today's episode of Locked On Aggies. Thank you all so much for being here every single day. I really do appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you tomorrow right here on Locked On Aggies.